There was a man who had been smoking for 2 decades. He tried every possible method to quit. Nicotine patches, counseling, medication, even hypnosis. He spent years of his life and thousands of dollars trying to escape this habit. Nothing worked. Then, during a work trip to Japan, he met an elderly monk who shared an idea that completely transformed his life. Within 3 months, the man quit smoking entirely, not through pressure or brute willpower. The monk introduced him to a radically different approach, one that felt almost unbelievably simple. What if everything you've been taught about breaking bad habits is wrong? What if fighting your habits is exactly what keeps them alive? What if habits could fade naturally, without constant struggle, without exhausting self-control, and without the endless cycle of failure and relapse? The Japanese have long understood something about human nature that the Western world is only beginning to recognize. They do not treat habits as enemies that must be defeated. They don't believe in using force against themselves. Instead, they follow a gentle system that works in harmony with the mind rather than against it, and the results speak for themselves. We see the failure of force-based change everywhere in Western culture. People sign up for intense gym programs in January only to quit a month later. They delete social media apps in dramatic attempts at digital detox only to reinstall them days later. We make bold promises, set unrealistic expectations, and then feel shame when we inevitably fall short. The Japanese approach begins from a completely different perspective. Instead of viewing habits as problems to eliminate, they see them as patterns that once served a purpose. Every habit, even harmful ones, originally solved a problem. The smoker who lights a cigarette during stress once found comfort in that action. The late-night overeater once found relief in food. When you truly understand this, everything changes. There was once a Japanese monk who struggled deeply with anger. Small frustrations built up daily until he would explode at his students. He tried everything to control himself. Long hours of meditation, repeated mantras, even extended fasting. Nothing helped. The more he tried to suppress his anger, the stronger it became. Eventually, an older monk gave him advice that changed his life. Stop trying to eliminate your anger. Instead, become curious about it. Observe it the way you would watch a cloud drifting across the sky. Notice when it appears, how it feels in your body, and what thoughts accompany it, without judging or resisting it. Though skeptical, the younger monk tried this method. When anger arose, instead of pushing it away, he silently labeled it anger. He noticed where it lived in his body, warmth in his chest, tension in his jaw. He observed the thoughts fueling it, usually stories about how things should be different. Within a few weeks, something unexpected happened. The anger began to lose its grip. By observing it without judgment, he created space between himself and the emotion. He could experience anger without being controlled by it. Over time, the anger appeared less frequently, and when it did, it passed quickly, like a brief summer storm. This understanding of impermanence lies at the heart of the Japanese philosophy of habit change. Nothing lasts forever, not even cravings and urges. When you truly grasp this, everything shifts. The intense desire for a cigarette will pass. The urge to check your phone will fade. The craving for alcohol will rise and fall like a wave. Most people treat cravings as emergencies. When someone trying to quit sugar wants dessert, they either give in immediately or try to distract themselves. Both reactions treat the craving as something that must be resolved right away. The Japanese method offers a third option. Acknowledge the craving. Feel it fully, but do not act on it. Sit with the discomfort as you would sit with a friend who is upset. Present, patient, without trying to fix it. A businessman in Tokyo used this approach to quit smoking after 20 years. Instead of throwing away his cigarettes, he kept them on his desk. When the urge appeared, he would pick up a cigarette, smell it, hold it, and fully experience the craving. Then he would set a 10-minute timer and tell himself he could smoke once it rang. During those minutes, he didn't distract himself or fight the urge. He simply observed how the craving moved through his body. He noticed it peaked around 3 minutes, then slowly faded. By the time 10 minutes passed, the urge was usually weak enough that he could choose not to smoke. This wasn't about willpower, it was about understanding cravings. They feel permanent, but they are temporary. Most cravings last only 3 to 5 minutes at their strongest. When you learn to ride that wave instead of being pulled under, you discover something powerful. You are not your cravings. You are the awareness observing them. The Japanese also embrace the concept of Kaizen, meaning continuous small improvement. Western culture loves dramatic transformation. We want instant results, from sedentary to athlete overnight, from chaos to perfection by next week. This all-or-nothing mindset almost guarantees failure. Kaizen takes the opposite path. Instead of changing everything at once, you improve by just 1% at a time. If you watch 4 hours of television every night, you don't quit cold turkey. You reduce it by 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes less than yesterday. To the Western mind, this feels insultingly small, but the brain doesn't change through dramatic overnight shifts. Habit pathways are built over years. They must be slowly rewired through consistent, tiny actions. A woman in Kyoto used Kaizen to overcome her shopping addiction. She didn't destroy her credit cards or vow to quit forever. She simply waited 1 day before making any online purchase. If she still wanted the item after 24 hours, she allowed herself to buy it. After a month, she extended the wait to 2 days, then 3. Within 6 months, she was waiting an entire week, and by then, she rarely wanted the items at all. This approach works because small changes don't trigger the brain's alarm system. Dramatic shifts signal danger and provoke resistance, anxiety, and powerful urges to return to old habits. Tiny changes slip under the radar, creating change without backlash. Another key idea is Ikigai, your reason for being. Many habits persist because they fill an emotional gap. We smoke to relieve stress. We overeat to soothe loneliness. We scroll endlessly because we are bored. If we don't address the deeper need, removing the habit leaves a void that demands to be filled. The Japanese approach encourages discovering what truly gives your life meaning and gradually replacing destructive habits with actions aligned with that purpose. This isn't just substitution, it's understanding what the habit was really providing and meeting that need in a healthier way. A programmer who drank heavily each evening realized he wasn't addicted to alcohol itself, but to the transition it created between work and personal time. Drinking was his ritual for switching gears. Once he understood this, he created a new transition ritual, changing into comfortable clothes, making tea, and spending 10 minutes sketching, something he loved as a child. This new habit reconnected him with creativity and meaning. As this positive pattern grew stronger, the pull of alcohol naturally weakened. The Japanese philosophy also deeply understands the role of self-compassion. In the West, we often try to motivate ourselves through harsh self-criticism. We call ourselves weak when we slip up and use shame as a weapon. But shame doesn't create lasting change. It fuels rebellion and self-sabotage. When you shame yourself, you create an internal conflict. One part becomes the critic, the other the rebellious child. They battle endlessly, wasting energy that could be used for real growth.
Instead, the Japanese emphasize compassion. When you stumble, you treat yourself as you would a close friend, with kindness, understanding, and encouragement to try again. This isn't about avoiding responsibility. It's about recognizing that true change grows from acceptance, not self-hatred. You cannot hate yourself into becoming someone you love. Growth requires self-respect. A teacher who struggled with emotional eating learned this after years of failed diets. Each slip triggered harsh self-talk, which only led to more overeating. When she practiced self-acceptance, she simply acknowledged what happened, without judgment. I ate more than my body needed. a fact, not a moral failure. Then she became curious. What emotion was present? What need was she trying to meet? This gentle inquiry revealed patterns. She ate when she felt unappreciated at work, lonely on weekends, anxious about money. With awareness, she could address the real issues instead of fighting the symptom. The Japanese system understands that breaking a habit isn't about destruction, it's about building something new. You don't eliminate an old pattern, you grow beyond it. Like a tree that grows around a fence until the fence becomes irrelevant, new habits make old ones unnecessary. Habits are like well-worn paths through a forest. You've walked them so often they're easy to follow, even if they lead somewhere you no longer want to go. You can't erase the path, but you can create a new one. At first, the new path is difficult. You push through branches, step carefully, stay aware, but each time you walk it, it becomes clearer. Meanwhile, the old path slowly disappears. Eventually, the new path becomes the easiest choice. This mirrors how the brain works. Repetition strengthens certain pathways while unused ones fade. Change isn't about willpower, it's about consistency. A man struggling with social media addiction applied this idea cleverly. Instead of deleting his apps, he placed a book beside his bed where his phone usually lay. Each morning, he read just one page. One page felt too easy to resist, and that was the secret. Often, one page turned into many. Within a month, he was reading for 30 minutes each morning. Phone scrolling wasn't eliminated through force, it was replaced by something more fulfilling. The Japanese understand that lasting change happens in harmony with your nature, not in conflict with it. You are not conquering yourself. You are not fighting your weaknesses. You are growing into a fuller version of who you already are. The habit you want to change is not your enemy. It is a teacher showing you where your life is out of alignment with your true self.